Hello everyone, the 316 here with another Marvel Legends review. This time I got the Amazon exclusive Cabal 3-pack. This celebrates 85 years of Marvel. This 3-pack retails for $75, $74.99. I was able to get mine at that price after they had readjusted from $90. Hasbro's being weird with prices lately. They keep pricing things higher or lower, and then they keep fixing the prices, and it's annoying. Hopefully, Big Bad Toy Store honors my Phoenix pre-order. I did go ahead and pre-order that. Only X-Men character I got, minus Wolverine. But anyway, we're here to talk about the Cabal 3-pack. I have no plans on getting the other members of the Cabal. Really, I just wanted a nice Doctor Doom, and I like Iron Patriot. I think it's a cool-looking outfit, design, etc. This Taskmaster I had no interest in, but we'll see how he is outside of the box. Speaking of which, we do have the new style of box here. I do like it. It's very compact, and I think that's what makes it really good here. You know, it probably saves them money. It saves a little bit of headache when it comes to the plastic packages. You know, when I get a McFarlane figure, they just use so much plastic and they take up so much space. It's like they could probably shrink this down by like 10%. But, you know, at least Marvel's actually doing that. They brought back the plastic, and that is a good thing because this looks much better than having them all sealed up. Top is pretty nondescript. Bottom here, there's the barcode. I don't know why you'd need that. It's an Amazon exclusive. Can't get it anywhere else. There's some side box art here of Doctor Doom and the Iron Patriot having a fight there. And I think that's Taskmaster down there. It's kind of hard to make that out. Let's see, on this side, just some more window. And on the back here, we have the three members that are included in this box. Yeah, there's Taskmaster, and I think that's Loki. I thought someone was over here. I guess not. I'll go ahead and read this for you. Iron Patriot calls together some of the most dangerous beings in the world to form the Cabal, a volatile alliance that wreaks havoc on the world. And it's there in some other languages as well. But yeah, that's enough for the box. Let's go ahead and open them up. And here is the Cabal outside of their packaging. I just wanted to take one more look at the packaging's background here. You can see it has the Marvel logo celebrating 85 years, as well as a few different heroes. I see Ghost Rider, Black Panther, looks like Captain Marvel in there, Guardians, or Nova rather, Captain America, Hulk, Spider-Man, Iron Man. I think there's a few others in there, but those are most of them that I've seen. Anyway, so I'm going to start off from the right, because this figure, Doctor Doom, is one that I've been waiting for to get one in my collection. I liked the Walgreens exclusive one. I remember seeing that one a few years ago, and I wasn't collecting Marvel Legends at the time, so I just let it, pass me by. And, I am glad that I waited for this particular release of Doctor Doom, because I do like him. He's not pinless, but honestly, again, pins are not something that I really care about or don't care about. They're just there or they're just not. If you like the pinless look, that's cool. I don't think they've done a pinless Doctor Doom yet, besides the one that was in the Monica Rambeau 2-pack from the Beyond Earth's Mightiest Avengers. Anyway, this figure, though, really like the color green they used, and the silver is done nicely, although you can see there was a little bit of extra silver paint applied to his shoulder here. You can see that his chainmail has been painted in all of the areas that are really hard to get to, and I'm really surprised by that. They even got the back of his knees there, and even this foot piece in his ankle. That's a big surprise to me. But adding that extra bit of silver just makes this figure pop just a little more, and now he's having trouble standing up. Ugh, it's these knees. We'll get into it, but I wanted to start off with the head sculpt here, because the head sculpt's really good. It's actually a triple molded part as far as I'm aware. There's 3 different parts that make up this head piece. I'll take it off for you. So there's the green part for the hood, of course. There is the fleshy part for his head, and then there is the silver part for the mask. And, you could open this up a little bit. You can see the circles in there where his ears would go. But get a better look at that head sculpt. You can see his what look to be hazel or brown eyes in there. And he's got that mouth guard on as well. The mouth guard looks kind of weird. Something about it that's just kind of off to me. Maybe there's not enough black paint on that lower portion of it. I don't know. I mean, it still looks good regardless, and you can see all the rivet details around his eyes, his forehead, and even some on his cheek there. Really well done on that. And I took his head off so that you could see his alternate head. You could make this a Doombot, and you can remove this piece here, and you will have to take off the cape. It's just layered on there, as you can see, so you would just pull it off. But I'm not going to do that. I don't really want to, fix this cape. I'm just going to leave it on for my personal collection. But, if you want the Doombot look, here's how it looks. And you can see it does have the double articulation joint, one in the base of the neck and then one at the top for the head. And it spins around and everything. I'm going to go ahead and take that head sculpt off, but it's a nice head sculpt. I do kind of wish that this came with the single release version of Doctor Doom instead of the 3-pack, because if you're trying to army build the Doombots, probably not a good idea to buy multiples of this 3-pack here, just because they cost $75, and then you're stuck with a bunch of extra Iron Patriots and Taskmasters. Shoulder joints, those are pretty good. Nothing doesn't get in the way really. Just keep pushing, you'll get it. At first I was like, this looks weird, but no, it's flush, as you can see. It's level, and that's how it is supposed to be. I thought it was supposed to be more like this, but when I move that one up, you can see that that one's a bit forward when it should be like over here, just to give you an idea. Let's see, he can't not touch his own shoulder. Knees here. The knees here, they kind of bend forward a bit, at least the lower portion. The upper portion seems stable. But yeah, that lower portion, it bends forward a little too much, which, while it is extra articulation, it doesn't make him stand up very easy. It actually makes it a little harder for him to stand up. Kind of reminds me of McFarlane stuff, where sometimes it just goes a little bit past the point you want it to, and it doesn't work. He does have a weapon holster here with the really nice letter D on it for his gun. The gun here is kind of reminds me of like Megatron from G1. I don't exactly know what type of gun this is, but he does have a trigger finger hand for it. As you can see there, looks pretty good. And of course he can put it in said holster, but if I were you guys, I would recommend shaving down the peg, like at least one of the sides of it, because when I attach it, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I shouldn't do this, but it's whatever. So it goes on pretty easy, but when I go to remove it, I'm gonna put these guys down so that the camera stops having trouble focusing. When I go to try to, you can kind of see I've already stressed the plastic there. It's a little white, so I'll probably just keep him with the gun holstered. If there's other accessories that I feel he'd fit better with, I'd probably give that to him. But yeah, there's that. Speaking of accessories, he does have a trigger finger, right hand, a grasping, like open palm, left hand, like he's got the power, And then he, of course, does come with the two-fisted hands here, which are nicely molded, and it's got the rivet details and stuff. It looks good. No complaints there. And he has the Doombot head down here. I'm just going to stick that to the side. He doesn't really come with too many accessories, but what's really nice is the cloth goods cape. It is not wired. It would be nice if it was wired, but, just having the cloth good cape, and it matches pretty decently with his hood piece. Just having this is fine with me, I don't mind the big hard plastic capes, but I think, this was the Doctor Doom figure I was waiting for. And, he doesn't disappoint. I have no, major complaints here. Let's move into the leg articulation. He can spread them. He can actually spread them pretty decently. So the way this works is that it's actually two separate pieces. One is overlaid over the other, and same on this side. And, he can spread his leg out because it, spreads out the skirt piece. But, he can't really kick too far forward unless you move both legs forward. And then, if you want to give him a throne, which I might do, you could have him sit in it. Just to give you an idea, he doesn't sit very easily in the throne. You'd have to like crunch his part forward there. But a lot of photos I've seen of Doctor Doom have him in a very like relaxed position in a chair, just like kind of like that. He's really like hunched back into it. So, if you want to get him to sit down, you might have some problems with that. You could cut the skirt a little bit or shave down the inside of it so that it's a little thinner. His midsection piece here does have a crunch. It does not have an arc back, which is weird. And it doesn't go like side to side, but it does have a twist. It's kind of weird that it goes only forward. Also, so the power just went out. Anyway, as I was saying, you can see that he has some jets on his back here. He also has a peg hole. I think that was originally used for his plastic cape, although I think this upper body might be a new mold. Honestly, I don't know. I don't have any other Doctor Doom figures to compare him to. Let me fix his cape here, and then we'll look at our next figure. I was done talking about him anyway, but if you want to, you could actually put these repulsor blast effect pieces into his back. They do fit, surprisingly. Speaking of repulsor blasts, here we have the Iron Patriot figure. I actually am going to lower the light a little bit here. Perfect. So one thing to note about this particular figure is that in the promotional images, the renders, etc., they were shown to have used silver instead of white. And Robo Don't Know, he got the figure prototype that had silver on it as well. So I'm not sure what the reason for the change is, but he is white instead of silver. Personally, I kind of like that silver look. It made him look a bit more metallic, a bit more interesting, and actually it looked pretty nice next to the Extremis armor. We will be taking a look at that. But, the white's not too bad. Honestly, in person, I think it looks a little bit better. On camera, I think it looks a little bit worse. The white stands out very much on camera. Speaking of white, got a white background here just so you can see better the red color. It's a very candy-like red, but it's not very bright. It is a little bit muted. On camera, it looks like a candy red. In person, it looks just a little bit darker, so that just gives you an idea of the color of red we're dealing with. And again, we'll show Extremis next to him in a little bit. Speaking of which, this does mostly reuse Extremis parts, but there's a lot of new stuff here. So the reuse is the shoulder all the way down, but not the shoulder pad. This midsection, as well as these two circular pieces on the side, and these feet and knee joints. All of that is reuse. Everything else here is brand new. And they did a good job integrating the parts that were reused. This is how I'd like part reuse to be done. It's done very well, and I like it. Some parts aren't painted, though, like these little things on the side here. Do they need to be? I haven't seen enough of the Iron Patriot suit in comic books, so I don't know. What I do like, though, with this Iron Patriot head sculpt is that it's actually at least two separate pieces. So you have the red part, then you have the white part over top, but in between that you can see he has some orangey yellow eyes that are inset rather than being just printed on top. You can actually see shadow going in there, and I think that's a really well done effect. And I'm sure someone could add like a light to it, but you would have to like bore out a hole in the head sculpt here. Speaking of which, out of the box he actually comes like this, and this Norman head sculpt is very good. I could see someone using this on their Green Goblin animated figure, or any Green Goblin figure really. It looks good. I like the expression with the eyebrow. He does look like he's hasn't slept in like a decade, with the the tired lines around his eyes and his forehead wrinkles. Look, it's a good looking head sculpt though, and if you have an extra suited body, that's an easy extra figure to have. Just there you go. He doesn't come with a lot of accessories. He does have the open repulsor hands, which are reuse, of course, but not a problem really. And, those hold the repulsors just fine. He can also stick one in his foot, as per usual. And he comes with 2 fisted hands as well, in that nice candyish reddish color. Articulation-wise, arms are pretty much the same, except for the shoulder plate here. He can't actually raise his arms higher. Oop. Well, let's see. Can I put that back in? It looks like I should be able to put this back in. It's just a peg here. Oh yeah, that goes right back in. So, do be warned, if that does happen to you, it just goes right back in. It's just glued, but it might come off on you, so just be careful. Let me see if I can stick that on. Damn it. Of course, this had to happen during the review, though. This side I've been trying to get up higher, but it doesn't go up nearly as high. Got all of that. No butterfly joint. With these shoulder pads, he probably couldn't even use it anyway. He's got a decent amount of ab, plenty of back, and of course that's on a ball swivel type of joint. No ab at all, just the no ab crunch. He has the diaphragm crunch. You do have to move these circles out of the way to access the leg articulation. Nice there. He can do the splits, swivel. Can he kick his own ass? He cannot kick his own ass. And he's got, that and that. No swivel down here, though. This was actually the second figure I wanted the most out of this set, But, I don't know, he's probably the worst out of the 3. And that's not saying that this is a bad figure. It's just alright, There's worse figures out there, and I don't know why it's focusing on Doom. Doom's better than this guy, but anyway. That is the Iron Patriot. He's pretty cool. I like him. But let's go ahead and get on to arguably the best figure in this set, which is Taskmaster. Here's Taskmaster, and this reuses the Vulcan body. Let's stick him back there. There we go. This reuses the Vulcan body mold, and they did a great job here. It's a nice, big, beefy, bulky body mold. And, for the most part, you can't even tell it's reused, especially now that it's pinless. The only other figure I have on the Vulcan body mold is Black Panther, which we will take a look at. There's a lot going on in this figure. So first things first, the head sculpt. If you turn it too much to one side, it just comes right off, which probably a good thing. You don't want to damage the head or the ball peg there. Really great looking head. And this is a double molded piece as well. You have a bone white, and then you have the white for the hood, which is a bit brighter, a bit bluer. This is a bit more yellow, obviously. The cape here is a separate piece. You can just wiggle that off. And I don't like the peg positioning. It makes it very hard to actually stick it into the peg hole on the back of his body. It can be done, but I usually just find that resting the cape on the figure is a bit easier. You see how it may not be as evident on camera that it's in a bad position. It's just I can't seem to get the head on, and then also get his little gold chain here to sit in a place that I like, especially with his little bandolier here. The bandolier looks good, but I kind of wish that this was part of the cape's mold. I would have been fine if it was not this brown separate piece, and if it was just this white or orange, whatever color this is. I believe it's white and then painted orange. But I just wish that this could sit a bit better, because how it is now, it doesn't sit too great. The quiver here is a part of the cape as well. I have not been able to get that apart. You can kind of see the peg back there. As far as I know, that does not come out. I would like for it to come out, though, so that he could just, have a sword and shield, which we'll look at in a second. He's got his belt here, and it's got quite a few different pouches, as well as pouches on the back. It's a mirrored design, so, all the pouches are the same on each side, and he's, of course, got his Taskmaster logo there. The white underwear, of course. He's got a couple separate items, kind of like a G.I. Joe figure. He's got this gold, thigh decoration. I'm not sure what it's for. Maybe he's just, maybe it's Thigh Day and it's like a weight resistance band. I do not know. He's also got a holster for his pistol here, which I'll show you real quick. I'm not going to put this one in his hand just because it doesn't fit very well, and it's a tiny-ass gun, too. And out of the package, look at that. Ugh, I do not like that. This gun is definitely staying in his holster. Dr. Doom, though, I might get his gun out and let him use his gun, but yeah, so that's pretty much the figure. He's also got the big boots down there, big cuffs. Alright, accessories-wise, though, this is where this figure just goes from, like, really good to, like, fantastic. So, he comes with a bow, and the bow string is translucent plastic, which, it does look a bit interesting. It's an interesting look for a bow. You know, if you wanted to restring this, I'm assuming you could, but, I mean, that's really just up to personal preference. Because, you know, if you pull this back, it warps the plastic, but they probably had to do that so it couldn't actually be used as a bow. I don't know. But, of course, he can hold the bow in one of his hands, his left or right hand. Probably this hand, so that he can use his separate arrow piece, which is painted with a gold tip and red at the end here. This is a reused piece that's been used in quite a few different figures. I know it's been reused from the Hawkeye figure, other figures I do not know about, but you know, you can kind of put the arrow in between his fingers here, but it's not really working for me, at least. So, you know, you can have him with the bow and arrow pose pretty easy. Speaking of which, you can put both of these on the figure. So as you can see, there's a hole in the quiver there, and you could just drop that in. It's not a tight fit by any means, but it definitely holds it in there. It'll fall out, of course, but there you go. And with the bow, you could just do that. And now he's got his bow and arrows on his back. Pretty cool. His other accessories include... You already saw those two hands. He also includes a pair of fists, which are gloved fists. Like, they actually look like gloves. They have the mold lines to make it look like stitching lines. And he actually comes with a fifth hand, which is just an open gesturing hand, similar to Dr. Doom's, but on his right hand. Pretty neat. Go ahead and stick on his sword and shield. So this does use the peg clip connector rather than the straps. And then here is his sword, which looks pretty nice. Good looking sword. I feel like I used this in Dark Souls, the Zweihander. This definitely reminds me of Zweihander, it's just not as big. And yeah, that Taskmaster looks great. And because it uses the Vulcan body mold, it's of course going to be able to do a good amount of articulation, but with the forearm and boot pieces, it is a little bit limited. Can't touch his shoulder, and there's also no well, there's like minimal swivel at the boot down there. Can he kick his own ass? I believe he can. Let's see. He can almost... Yep, nope, he can kick his own ass, definitely. And, you know, good articulation there. Of course, he can do the splits, and he's got the swivel and that. And because these brown parts are free-flowing, you can have the belt a bit lower or a bit higher, just depending on your preference. Overall, this is probably the best figure of the three. It was the one that was the standout for me. Obviously, I got this for Dr. Doom, but this Taskmaster is just really good. Like, I got no complaints here. This is just a great, great Marvel Legend action figure. And if they keep making figures this good, I'm just going to have to keep buying them, you know? So, let's go ahead and bring in some of our size comparisons here. Let's start off with our Marvel Legends figures. So, I think it's best to start off with this guy because of the news recently, but we have here the Extremis Iron Man, and I'll bring in the Iron Patriot here just so you can see what's reused. Mostly just the arms there, the midsection piece, as I just said, although these are twisted up. I'll fix that real quick. And of course the feet and the knees. Everything else is brand new on this guy. And these two look good together. I think that he actually stands up a bit taller. He actually has a little bit of an A pose from these legs. I like the legs on this guy better. But, you know, Extremis is still probably my favorite Iron Man armor, just in general. This looks good. And, here he is next to his Illuminati member, Dr. Doom. And they'll be played by Robert Downey Jr. Interesting. I doubt we're getting a Marvel Illuminati besides the one we got in Doctor Strange, but, now that Robert Downey Jr. is playing this guy, who knows? Who knows? Get Iron Man out of the way here. Get you back in there. And here is Black Panther here from the Atuma Build-A-Figure wave. As you can see, reusing pretty much all the same general parts for the most part. But, gives you an idea. And, of course, the boots and gloves are a bit different. And I think he does have the hole in the back. Does he not have the hole in the back? Hold on, I gotta look. Oh yeah, Black Panther doesn't have the hole in the back for the cape. That is interesting. I mean, I know he didn't have a peg hole and connector for the cape, or on his cape rather. So that's interesting. Here is them with Black Widow. Solo movie. Just thought bring her out real quick. Pretty neat. And lastly here we got Spider-Man. Giving me, Ultimate Alliance vibes. Pretty cool. Anyway, let's go ahead and see how tall these guys are. I forgot to bring out the ruler. Alright, so Dr. Doom here stands at 6 3/4 inches. Iron Patriot stands at just shy of that. And Taskmaster stands at about 6 1/4 inches tall, looks like. Close to 6 1/2. In that range. Anyway, let's see how these guys look next to some other action figure lines. Let's go ahead and continue with Marvel Legends. They only get Scarlet Spider in here. Get him to stand up straight. We have the G.I. Joe Classified Tiger Force Outback. The Power Rangers Lightning Collection Dino Thunder Black Ranger. There's my Boba Fett. I was looking for him. The Star Wars Black Series Retro Card Return of the Jedi Boba Fett. I think I'm just going to say Retro Card Boba Fett from now on. Y'all know what I mean. Let's get our wrestling figures in here. We got the AEW Unrivaled Samoa Joe. I just realized he's out of frame. The WWE Mattel 100 John Cena. We got the Halo Jazzwares Spartan Yoroi from the Halo Spartan Collection. And finally, DC Multiverse, we got the Arkham City Gold Label Batman. And Build-A-Figure Atrocitus. So, the Cabal 3-pack is great. I have very little in the form of complaints with this set of 3 figures. I have no plans to get the other members of the Cabal, Lady Loki, the Hood, Emma Frost, and Namor. Just, I really just wanted Dr. Doom. Taskmaster's cool, and I like Iron Patriot just as a visual design, but this is a great 3-pack, $75, Amazon exclusive. I don't think you could do any better than, I don't think Marvel Legends team could have done any better on this pack. I think this is exactly what I was expecting and more. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of the Cabal 3-pack, which one of the 3 is your favorite from this 3-pack. Don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe, and hit the bell. It all helps out the channel. And as always, peace.